welcome back to the channel. Jujubear here. Now today we're going to be playing some Total War Run 2. And playing as the Egyptians. Fave. And I brought Bay again. Two of these Ptolemaic cavalry bringing up the rears. Always good to see them in these battles. Every time I play with them, they tend to do well, and we'll see if that's the case in this match here. They are flanked by two Carthaginian axemen. At the back is these Levy-Thurea spears to defend my flanks. Right in the center here, I've got two of these Galatian Royal Guard. And up the front, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Galatian swordsmen. And right up the front, I've got 4 of these Egyptian infantry and a Tarentine cav out in the flank. Let's just go check out my opponent's army here. So 2 Balearic slingers. Straight off the bat, he has got the skirmishing advantage. Mercenary Scutari, Libyan infantry, and Mercenary Scutari. So out in the flanks, Mercenary Scutari, and the late Libyan Hoplites on the flanks, paired up with a Gallic warrior, triple XP chevron, Carthaginian cav for days, and a Mercenary noble fighter, and a General's bodyguard general. So this player was, he seems to know what he's doing with this build. So he does have some pretty serious power in the center with his Balearic slingers. His Libyan infantry and Scutari alone could probably destroy my Galatian swordsmen. So what I'm actually going to do is peel off my my Egyptian infantry, because I don't really care too much about the charge bonus of those Libyan infantry upon my Galatian swordsmen. I mainly want them to reinforce and help out with these fights out in the flanks with the late Libyan Hoplites. I'm going to take some shots with my Tarentine cav into these, I think it's a Carthaginian cav that we were targeting there. And then all along the center, we're going to disrupt some charges into the late Libyan Hoplites. And engaging with my Galatian swordsmen, Libyan infantry. Don't know how I'll go against these mercenary Scutari, but we'll see. So good charges all across the board. Good connection. Getting some very nice shots in with my Levy-Thurea spears into these Carthaginian cavalry. And my opponent is going to come and bring his mercenary noble fighters into this battle here. So I have got my Egyptian infantry supporting with these Levy-Thurea spears, getting these Galatian Royal Guard. This is bad. This kind of blobbing is not what I want to be doing. I got my Ptolemaic cav coming into these into the fight, just destroying some of these Gallic warriors. Gonna hold them up for a second with my Tarentine cav. My general, my Ptolemaic cavalry general, is gonna come around the flanks. This is probably a little bit risky, seeing as there are Carthaginian cav in the center. My opponent has not gone into... Here he goes. No, he's not gone into a shield wall with any of his units just yet. I am losing Egyptian infantry out in the flank, so probably not going to hold for too much longer. Looks like my opponent here is gearing up for a charge with his Carthaginian cav. Take a javelin volley there with the Ptolemaic cavalry. Not a very good micro... not a very good job with my micro there. Getting a fairly good charge in there with my Ptolemaic cav, but I'm going to catch a couple of those Carthaginian cav on the way out. In the center, I am losing the fight. Libyan infantry taking 40 losses and destroying my Galatian swordsmen, so doing a fairly good job there. Levy-Thurea spear are going to start destroying these Carthaginian cavalry. They are in spear formation, so probably going to beast out that engagement. I've still got an Egyptian infantry over in this flank, though my Galatian Royal Guard are going to be cutting through those late Libyan Hoplites like butter. These are Ptolemaic cavalry holding up these Carthaginian cav, and I'm just getting some fairly good shots in with my Carthaginian axemen here. I've extricated my Ptolemaic cavalry, and I'm going to chase after his Carthaginian cav. If I can get a fairly good charge onto these units, then I will win this engagement. But it doesn't look like I really did, so we'll see what happens there. Galatian Royal Guard coming up against a Carthaginian cav and a Gallic warrior. Just going to find out where his noble fighter is. Here it is. Noble fighter destroying my Carthaginian axemen. It's not going to take them very long to do it either. He has got a lot of Libyan infantry free at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, all of them with about more than half strength left, so definitely not in a good place at this point. I've got Egyptian infantry coming back from the fight. I've got Ptolemaic cavalry holding down a Carthaginian cav, so not in a very good place at all. My Levy-Thurea spears are getting ganged up on by these mercenary noble fighter and Scutari units, but I am going to go down with the fight. Galatian Royal Guard in shield wall bugging out, just facing the wrong direction. Gonna get my Ptolemaic cav back from that fight on the flank there. Getting into these Balearic slingers with my Tarentine cav. Very happy about this engagement here. Definitely need to see if I can deal with those units before anything else in this fight. At this point, I'm going to turn around with my units and get a good volley off on those Libyan infantry. Gonna get a nice engagement with these units here. Gonna destroy this Libyan infantry there, and Scutari Cav. Oh, Scutari gonna wreck my Egyptian infantry there, actually. Got a Carrying Axeman, Levy-Thoreus Spear, but it doesn't look like it's enough units to kind of bring this back. But we'll see what happens. Ptolemaic Cavalry, here we go, getting 95 kills. Almost destroyed this Carthaginian cavalry, doing pretty well on that flank. Galatian Royal Guard, I'm going to have to try and get this unit into the flank of these late Libyan Hoplites just to keep these Levy-Thoreus from dying, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a little bit too late getting to that fight there. Got my Ptolemaic Cav coming in for a nice rear charge, very timely here. Taking out 2 of these units in one fell swoop. These Libyan infantry, we're going to have to try and deal with them sooner or later, and I'm going to hold them up with my Levy-Thoreus Spears while I get some nice flank charges and rear charges with some units that are coming back from routing. Managed to destroy another Libyan infantry over here, Galatian Royal Guard, beasting out the kills against a couple of different units. Going to have to try and deal with these Balearic Slingers at some point. Now my own Galatian Royal Guard are getting ganged up on by late Libyan Hoplites and Mercenary Scutari. Also, these Mercenary Noble Fighters are going to be coming back fairly soon. Only got 30 men left of my Ptolemaic Cavalry after dealing with the Carthaginian Cav. Though my Ptolemaic Cav have probably... They've done a very good job in this battle. 116 kills on that unit, 127 on that unit, so definitely doing a very good job here. Getting some fairly good charges in here with my units, getting a nice volley off onto those General Bodyguard. I think I was chasing the General's Bodyguard actually, so I didn't really get a very good charge into this Libyan infantry. And I am... I'm not really... Yeah, Egyptian infantry is gone. So at this moment, Galatian Royal Guard are going to have to try and beast out an engagement with 2 Libyan infantry that are, you know, in a pretty good place. So Ptolemaic Cavalry trying to bring them up and deal with those slingers, but it looks like he's trained his fire onto that unit, and they're not going to be coming back anytime soon. Getting a nice rear charge into these, or a flank charge into these Mercenary Noble Fighters, definitely not where they want to be. Getting a couple of kills, and I'm going to pull out of that engagement quick smart. Galatian Royal Guard got 98 men med, but they are exhausted at this point, and their attack is going to be quite low because of it. So it looks like it's a little bit... The rest of the game is not really going to work out heaps well for me. This Carrying Axeman's doing a fairly good job of just being annoying, getting a couple of kills here and there. Galatian Royal Guard beasting out 254 kills so far. At this point, I have to do something about the engagements, just kind of free up some units where I can. So I get a nice recharge into these Mercenary Scutari just to try and get rid of the attack in the rear penalty on my Galatian Royal Guard. I do pop Second Wind on my Galatian Royal Guard, so they are now fresh. But I'm going to have to do something about his slingers because they are just running riot, destroying a lot of my units in the process. So I get a really nice recharge into these Libyan infantry. They are about to break. They are losing decisively and being attacked in the rear from my Axemen. And I pop my Galatian Royal Guard into shield wall so I can beast that engagement out. Turn around, get a nice charge into these, what are they, Gallic Warriors, just to finish them off and take them off the field. Make sure they can't reinforce this fight here. Galatian Royal Guard and Carrying Axemen beasting out the kills. This Mercenary Noble Fighter though, there's not really a whole lot that I can do against it. It's going to be pretty instrumental in the rest of this fight here. Ptolemaic Cav over here, only got 10 men left, 191 kills, and they are getting very, very, very tired at this point. So getting some nice kills in these Libyan infantry. 73 men left. I'm not really carving through them as quick as I would probably like to. Managed to finish off that Mercenary Gallic Warrior for the 3rd time, I think. I didn't actually notice that it did have a triple XP chevron, which is why it kept on coming back from routing with 50 base morale. Gonna take my Ptolemaic Cavalry and go on a bit of a goose chase against these Mercenary Balearic Slingers. But this is probably where most of the action is actually. Galatian Royal Guard coming up against Noble Fighters with double XP chevrons. So both units have double XP chevrons. Mercenary Noble Fighters got 61 attack, so they have higher attack. The weapon damage, though, is a little bit higher on my Galatian Royal Guard. My melee defense is a lot higher than their melee defense, so I'm going to be probably refusing a lot more hits from my opponent. My armor is a lot better, and the health is even Steven. Same as the base morale. So, 267 kills in the Mercenary Noble Fighter and 258 on my own unit, though I am about half strength of what he is. So, if we can finish off the fight over here, one Galatian Royal Guard, 69 men left, getting nice kills in these Libyan infantry. They're about to be sandwiched though by these other Libyan infantry. then we should be sitting pretty. But at this point, I'm just trying to get my Ptolemaic cavalry into these Balearic slingers. If I can somehow keep them from attacking me, then it'll be okay. But it looks like my units are just about to waver from army losses. Kind of inexplicable, seeing as nothing really happened. I didn't lose my general. It just kind of came out of nowhere a little bit. But I do have Headhunt on my Galatian Royal Guard, but it looks like they're gonna rout at any point as well. So 66 men left in that unit, and it looks like they're not gonna last out this little engagement here. Exhausted. I think if anyone knows the penalty for being exhausted, let me know, because I actually have no idea what it is. I think it like halves your melee attack or something like that. But yeah, end of the game, you know, I've got all of this bearing down upon me. A couple of Balearic slingers, which I cannot deal with. And I mean, if it were noble fighters, and I had like a unit of like 70 something left, then it might be okay. But the fact that he was able to keep his Balearic slingers alive for the late game meant that he was able to kind of take this match by storm. So you can see the slinger shots coming in here, just shattering my unit there. So costly enemy victory. Very good game from Kalman. I was very impressed by the way he played there. Libyan infantry just absolutely wrecking my own Galatian swordmen, doing an absolute number on those units. I guess these units aren't really matched up very well. I mean, they're fairly cheap, but you need to have some kind of backup plan, because these units just don't get enough kills for what... I mean, as a mainline unit, they can be useful, but you have to have something backing them up. For example, these Galatian Royal Guard, getting 404 kills in that unit and 264 there. And again, my Ptolemaic cavalry being absolutely instrumental in this fight as well. So great job from Kalman. Thanks for watching, guys. Jujubear signing out. Peace.